Are you terrified that the sharp, grinding pain when you climb the stairs isn't just aging, but a warning sign that your independence is slipping away? What if the very exercises you're doing to stay strong and avoid a walker are actually accelerating the damage, bringing you closer to a knee replacement you desperately dread? It's a frustrating, agonizing cycle. You work out because you want to keep up with your family and enjoy your retirement, but every session leaves your knees feeling worse. The hard truth is that conventional gym wisdom is failing seniors. Many standard exercises become biomechanically dangerous after decades of wear and tear. Today, we are exposing the 3 most common leg exercises that are silently destroying your knees, the exact science behind the damage, and what you must do instead to regain pain-free mobility and protect your future. We need to understand that an aging knee is not the same as a 25-year-old knee. Cartilage thins, synovial fluid, the joint's lubrication, decreases, and ligaments lose some elasticity. This means our margin for error is 0. We have to differentiate between exercises that build protective muscle and those that introduce destructive forces. And the first exercise you need to eliminate is one you probably see used every day, the seated leg extension machine. It looks safe because you're seated and supported, right? But it is perhaps the single worst thing you can do to your knees. Why? Because it violates how your knee is designed to function. This is an open chain exercise, meaning your foot is floating and the weight is placed right at your ankle. When you straighten your leg, this setup creates tremendous shear force, a grinding, sliding force across the joint. It unnaturally pulls your shin bone forward, away from your thigh bone, stressing the ACL. More importantly, it drives your kneecap back against the femur with intense friction. If you have arthritis, this machine is essentially sandpaper grinding against an already inflamed joint. That burn you feel isn't just muscle fatigue, it's joint irritation. If machines are dangerous, surely the most natural exercise is safe? This brings us to the second major culprit, the deep squat, especially the ass to grass mentality. We are constantly told squats are essential, but attempting extreme depth after age 50 is catastrophic. While the leg extension created shear force, deep squats create massive compressive force. When your hips drop below your knees, the pressure inside the joint skyrockets. You are essentially crushing the meniscus, the shock-absorbing pads in your knee. As we age, the meniscus becomes more brittle. Deep flexion traps it under extreme pressure, risking a tear. Furthermore, we naturally lose mobility in our hips and ankles over time. When you try to force a deep squat with stiff joints, your body compensates. The knees often cave inward, valgus collapse, or the lower back rounds, the butt wink. This misalignment shifts the load unevenly, turning a strength exercise into a demolition derby for your cartilage. The third exercise is dangerous because it combines impact and instability. The forward walking lunge. This seems functional, but the biomechanics are brutal, especially for seniors. When you step forward in a lunge, your front leg has to absorb all your body weight and immediately decelerate your momentum. This braking action places enormous stress on the front knee. Most people lack the stability to control this perfectly, allowing the knee to drive far forward past the toes, which exponentially increases the pressure on the joint. Combine this with the natural decline in balance we experience as we age, and the forward lunge becomes a high-risk maneuver. One wobble, one moment of fatigue can lead to a twisted knee, a ligament strain, or a devastating fall. The risk simply outweighs the reward. So what should you be doing? The key isn't to stop training legs. Inactivity leads to muscle weakness, which makes the knees even more vulnerable. The key is to shift the focus from high-risk movements to smart, supportive strength. First, ditch the leg extensions and focus on strengthening the back of your legs. Glute bridges and hip thrusts are phenomenal. They build the hamstrings and glutes, which are the primary stabilizers of the knee, with virtually zero stress on the knee joint itself. Second, instead of deep squats, switch to box squats or high-quality sit-to-stands. By placing a chair or box behind you, you control the depth, stopping right at parallel, protecting the meniscus from that deep compression zone. And finally, ditch the forward lunge and replace it with the reverse lunge. By stepping backwards, you drastically reduce the deceleration force on the knee. It's easier to keep your front shin vertical and it engages your glutes more effectively. Getting older doesn't mean accepting pain. It means training with wisdom, choosing the right movements, and ensuring your knees last as long as you do.